saw from the last game. They don't want to put Wii in a position where he might have to 1v1 an Elk with a hero he's not super comfortable with.
I like it a lot. I like it more for the IO ban. I think FY on that IO, if I had to give the MVP to anybody, it would be him. He enabled so many heroes in that game. Like, he helped out the Bristleback, helped out the Alchemist as well. And when Gyro was getting ganked, he TPs up there, tethers him up, and then DC's like, oh, guess we can't gank this guy.
DDC played amazing as well. Everybody on Vici Gaming Reborn. They look like a completely different team.
Yeah.
It's, just like the commentator said, game 1, really one-sided. Game 2, really one-sided the opposite way. Venge Bat is a good opening for Vici Gaming though. And
Now we go back to the Invoker.
Alright, they're good.
Yeah, okay.
Gucci.
So much more stable this time. Get Wii's hero out really early. Yes, it can be countered, but at least he's on his, arguably his best hero right now.
Yeah.
I think they want to ban out position 4 here so they can get really aggressive in middle though. Maybe like an Earth Spirit.
I would also probably maybe ban out the PL as well. The PL Invoker matchup is terrible for the Invoker.
It is. Maybe just ban Earth Spirit PL, because when you have Earth Spirit and they get their hands on like a DP, it becomes really, really hard for the Invoker to play.
Right.
Quick shout out for DDC, by the way. This is his 127th game in a Valve tournament, which is a new record.
I mean, he's been around since TI1.
Yep.
Right? That guy is very...
127 games.
He's always been very good.
Only in Valve events. Hal, Kuroki, they're still in the tournament and they're a couple behind him. Hal's 1 behind him and Kuroki's 3 behind him now. So they've still got time left in this tournament in terms of how far they could go and who could finish the top of the Valve tree.
I feel like DDC's one of the Chinese players that's really been under the radar, despite always being consistently good and consistently being on top teams in China.
Yeah.
I think he's not talked about enough. He played great last game as Rubik.
He's got a great jawline too.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a little random, but it was one of the first things that struck me about him when I saw him.
Charlie being random. That's so random.
Yeah, I want to say something nice about somebody. I can't do that, Paul. Why do I always got to be the heel?
Well, I mean, it's just not that you can't say
not
anything nice. It's just you usually don't say anything nice, so we get used to that.
Yeah, no style.
Yeah. I'm going to get the GKY now, aren't I? But you can't say that live, so they'll have to figure out what GKY means.
I'll write it on an easel and send it to you.
Don't do that, you'll get fired.
Lycan gets banned out from Vici Gaming.
And the Phoenix for Digital Chaos.
One of FY's favorite heroes. I think they have a really high win. Probably not in this tournament, but in general they have a pretty high win rate with the hero.
Yeah, it's off very quickly when he remembers that Phoenix is like 22% win rate.
But before this tournament they ran it and they had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, they've run it here as well, but again, hadn't had much success with it at all in the group stages, but nothing, in fact, lost all their games with it.
I like the Lich ban a lot for Vici Reborn. They do have a tendency to play a little more greedy, and Lich punishes that real hard.
Yeah. So what's the Batrider counter, other than Tornado?
You know who's still left in this pool? Beastmaster. Untouched, unbanned, second phase, great against the Batrider, just great in general.
DC picked that Beastmaster right now.
I'm surprised they didn't ban the Earth Spirit. It's one of the best heroes to pressure the Invoker with. And if you want to have a good game for Wii, you definitely want to have that hero out of the pool.
Well, there are ways to deal with it. I do like the Phantom Lancer ban better. I mean, like, that hero just crushes Invoker mid. So it's harder to deal with in the Earth Spirit, and maybe they feel like Phoenix is just... They're not comfortable going up against the Phoenix.
Sunray Supernova is so scary. Pretty much all situations.
Yeah, especially against those heroes too.
What is there to think about right now for them?
Do they take the Beastmaster?
Yeah, this is the Beastmaster pick.
Can it fit their laning?
Do we take Beastmaster? Also, how do we protect Wii in the mid lane?
Yeah.
Because they could also Batrider mid, but they didn't do that.
I wonder if they thought that maybe if they left it, then Vici would pick Beastmaster and they had a plan for it anyway.
Well, there we go, DP, Earth Spirit, as we spoke about before.
That's a scary looking lane for Vici Gaming here. I mean, Witch Doctor is pretty good here, but...
He's good in the defensive way, but... like,
well, that they will be ganking mid.
They will be for sure, but is he going to be in position? It's going to be the question.
They will be diving, so with Cask, and especially with DP, I think Witch Doctor Cask will be okay.
Yeah, should be okay.
It's really up to Saksa to really position himself well, get down the timings, and just think about when Vici is going to gank. You have to anticipate where the Earth Spirit is going to be and when he's going to be there.
Yeah. So looking for the carry, and potentially the offlane, they could grab the Beastmaster now.
I want to
It kind of works.
I would pick something very self-sustaining for resolution at this point because Wee's going to need a lot of help mid. Doom that's probably a Moo offlane Doom. I believe he's pretty much the only person that plays it on that team.
I would be Beastmaster.
Or,
They do Beastmaster.
okay.
Yeah. Really good against the Bad Rider. And for last pick, I think they want something like a Juggernaut or Slark for resolution. He can like sustain himself on the lane against the Bad Rider.
I like Slark a lot.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
10 seconds.
He's pretty hard to kill this game. I mean, it comes down to Earth Spirit Silence, Bat Rider Lasso, obviously, but a few times
They
that
can
way.
kill him.
Meatloaf ban?
Reserve.
They're not going to do it because
no.
they've seen the Invoker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Resolution can play Invoker as well, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. But I think they want to put Wii on it here. And
it's not the best Meepo game. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good against Earth
No,
Spirit.
Well, it's obviously in their
yeah.
mind as well as they think about this. They're
Yeah.
going to be going through that.
I do like Slark a lot. They can kill him, but it does require a lot of coordination on the side of Vici.
You know what could be really good? What VG did in the past, they run the Vengeful Core, they go with an Oracle pick, and then they're perfectly fine against the Beastmaster. They can protect the DP, as well as the Bad Rider, if they initiate on them. And they did run it in the past.
Yeah, that's the only downside thing of Avenge carry. It sort of works, but like you said, I'm not sure if they'd want to go that. I think Vici just plays standard here.
Oh, it's a Juggernaut ban.
I really do like the Slark though. They need a carry that can easily deal with the Bat Rider, or at least keep Bat Rider on his toes, because if he ever gets pounced and a support shows up, Bat
dead.
Rider almost always dies.
Yeah.
And if it's just a regular carry like Lycan or something, Bat Rider's always
They
gonna
banned
be
the
the
Slark
Slark
out themselves.
themselves.
And now they don't have Juggernaut either. Like, what do they want to do safe lane?
Okay, well surely they know what they want.
Yeah, but I don't know what they want.
So it's not like Vici goes first and then it's their turn, but there's some downsides about Slark. Like Earth Spirit can stun him when he's in Biz
Clings.
Okay.
instead.
Slightly.
I think
off
Clinks is
meta.
really risky against...
Ooh.
And a Terror Blade from Vici Gaming just to throw it out of the window. Nice.
They picked it really
Last
fast
couple
too,
of
they're
picks. They
confident.
knew that's exactly what they were going to
Oh,
do.
they're
Okay,
confident.
very quickly, let's go down the line. Charlie. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with my original prediction and pick Digital Chaos.
Okay.
I'm going against my prediction. I actually like VG better here.
I feel more confident in Vici's lineup as well. Yeah.
Okay, seems like the Terror Blade may have just about turned the key on our panelists. Let's find out what our commentators think as we head into Game 3. It's all yours, Odie Pixie.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, Game 3 now coming up between the sides of Vici Gaming Reborn and Digital Chaos. The final pick, Terrorblade. Ben, talk to me about that. Is that how Vici Gaming are going to pull this one through?
Yeah, you should be pretty scared of that. Are you scared of Yang's Bat Rider?
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'll tell you what is going to be scary. Weeha on the Invoker. The panel talked about the fact that Game 2 out of his comfort zone on the Timbersaw, but we'll see what kind of a performance he can bring out here back on his signature Invokers. We get ourselves straight into Game 3. There we have it as we get ourselves affiliated with both of the sides, a bit of a rundown. But talk to me about the Terrorblade ban. Why is it good here for Vici Gaming?
I think teams have been exploring solutions against these single target heavy teamfight ultimates like Doom and Beastmaster. And Terrorblade worked wonders yesterday, and dooming a Terrorblade doesn't really do that much. His illusions still output a lot of damage, especially when you have the Vengeful, Aura, and the Death Prophet's also really good versus the Doombringer, so they don't really have a good Doom target. And it's just good at pushing towers. They wanted a hero that can get involved early, push down, and it's good at split pushing like a Morphling, but it can also contribute team fights very, very early on. And he has 10 armor, 10 base armor.
That's an insane amount of armor indeed, but certainly the small health pool to kind of balance it out. And I mean, as you said, in terms of magical damage, I guess there'll be a point where Weeha's Invoker can be a little bit scary for the Terrorblade, but it's all going to be down to how much he can do. And there's always going to be the potential of that, if it is indeed going to be the Exalt build, that roar into Sunstrike at a point, which can catch the TB off guard.
They do have to swap for that.
Yes, yeah.
and ideally the Batrider would be able to lasso him in team fights. You know, Yang's 8.4k.
8.4k.
8.4.
My goodness, I'm looking forward to seeing his bat performance. I mean, he is of course going to be down here on that off lane, dealing with the safe lane of the Witch Doctor and Resolution Clinks combination. I mean, the Clinks certainly picked up with what seemed like a lot of confidence there with DC's final pick. The Terrorblade did then come after. I mean, why the Clinks this game for Resolution, and how come something not like the Slark that the panel were leaning more towards?
I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they think that they wanted more heavy burst versus Death Prophet. Slark's better at longer fights. Maybe just wanting to blow someone up immediately with a roar into some combo. But at the same time, Vici Reborn have the Vengeful Spirit to kind of mitigate that single target focus that DC may be aiming for.
Resolution already on the bottom lane, a bit of aggression coming out for the side of VG Gaming. Reborn as they force him back. He's got 5 stacks at the moment on him. Will now wait them out. Top lane, Moo on the Doom. I mean, we did see, of course, game 1. Moo had a great performance on this hero. I mean, the question is has these kind of 2 lineups got the potential to allow him to have a similar kind of game, or is it going to be a harder match for the Doom?
I think it's a much harder match for the Doom. There's a lot more that he has to deal with. No ideal Doom targets for him.
Bottom lane as well. Look at this VG Gamer Reborn coming in heavy onto Resolution. That's going to be your first blood here for Yang. You said he was 8.4k and certainly coming into this game with a lot of skill and a lot of style there. As Resolution the stacks got too much. I believe he had about 5 stacks on him as he went down there.
And the threat of the Earth Spirit, it's a little bit too much for them.
I just look at that. Yeah, indeed on the CS. Resolution at the moment, Ben, 0-0, and then you look over to end on the Terrorblade. He's 8-8, a huge difference here in the first couple of minutes between the 2 safe laners.
And another reason why they might have picked up the Clinks is because they're not on Dire, so they need some way to threaten the Roche. They had the Beastmaster to scout it out, and with the Invoker and the Clinks, they can actually take it down themselves much earlier than the Death Prophet with the Exorcism.
I'm talking about the Death Prophet in the mid lane, No against Weehar's Invoker. At the moment, a slight edge for No, 10 for 4 against 8 for 1, but Weehar, of course, on his Invoker with Exalt build as well. He's always going to have the potential to back up, clear up some of the jungle creeps, so we can expect Weehar to still have a fairly solid start, especially with the fact that VG.R, they are putting pretty much all of FY's attention towards that bottom lane. We're yet to see him really come in towards the mid lane. They're not even bothering there. They just want to try and keep Resolution in place as much as they can.
Roll coming out, narrowly mixes Saksa on bottom lane. FY in a lot of trouble.
Let's see if they can get themselves a kill. They can indeed. Resolution will be able to find one onto FY. Just as we said, this was an Earth Spirit looking to put the pressure on it. He can't afford to give away kills like that to the Clinks. So 1-1 now on the board for DC as they step it up. Yang's got to be a bit careful as well. Will fly himself away. Straight back into the lane though, FY gonna make sure that they can try and maintain this heat that they're bringing up on the bottom lane. Eyes onto the stacks, they're seeing they can get lead and they will with the stun. The slow as well, it's a nice cast that's gonna buy him some time to escape. And it will indeed be enough now. They'll turn their attention towards Resolution, but he simply skeleton walks away. And DC will be able to keep themselves safe there at the bottom. Top lane, Moo, DDC just trading hits. Moo feeling confident to just come back in. Not too scared at all. Scorched Earth back off cooldown in 6 seconds. They'll try and continue to go on him with the slow. The Wave of Terror as well. And when the Metamorphosis is out, it's more than enough damage. End on the Terrorblade now, picking himself up a kill in this lane that he's already having a fantastic time in with regards to the farm.
I wonder if Moo's going to go for the phase boost like he normally does. I think he needs the armor versus the Terrorblade, especially with the added damage from the reflection coming out and the minus armor coming out from the Vengeful Spirit. And do they have any stacks up for the Batrider? Doesn't look like it. That's going to be the key hero that can deal with Wee's Invoker. And knowing that they do have a Jungle Beastmaster, Yang invading that territory.
Oh, he might find a very easy kill. Oh no! Oh no! He did get it. Oh, I nearly had a heart attack then. Thought he'd lost his tranquils, but he's fine in that sense, and the turnaround's going to be there. Misery, very lucky to escape with his life and with his tranquils intact there. A very risky bit of play there for DC, but it does end up going their way. My goodness.
Everyone's worst nightmare, the jungler with tranquil.
I saw that, I was like, oh goodness. Had a bit of a heart attack there for Misery himself, but yeah, he had the backup. He had the backup, and Yang unable to punish him for placing them on the ground. Whew. That was a close one indeed, but 2-2 still. I mean, certainly panning out to be the game that we were kind of hoping to be here in Game 3. Game 1 and Game 2 being relatively stompy either way.
Roll in on the mid.
Can they get this one? No, it's not going to be enough to set up onto a kill on VG.R. And VG.R still maintaining himself very well in this mid lane. Just still the big difference being between both the Terrorblade and the Clinks. But at the same time, Resolution can certainly, obviously once he gets that 6 online and kind of is at least just a Soul Ring, he's going to be able to try and look for some ganks. But the question is, I mean, looking at VG's lineup, are there heroes that we can expect to see Resolution try and make early rotations onto?
I don't think so. The Death Prophet generally won't be that far out alone. I think they're going to be pushing a lot with the Vengeful Spirit and the Terrorblade and the Death Prophet, and Clinks can't really gank into those. Maybe if Batrider gets really slowed down and he's forced to jungle by his lonesome.
Look at this toppers lane as well. They've laid down a ward. FY looking to try and get a perfect angle from the sidelines.
Oh, Misery. It's time. He is level 6 with the smoke. 6 minutes in. Soxa looks like he's going to maybe smoke with him, but this is about that time for that first maneuver with the Primal Roar.
Roar and a Sunstriker certainly do wonders against the side of VG Gaming. Still eyes on Tamil on the top lane. They've brought Nono across as well. Straight in. It's on point and they'll take it. Another kill here for VG Gaming Reborn, and another kill more specifically for End on the Terrorblade. And now with the Metamorphosis looking to take down a tier 1 as well. This has got to be one of the best starts we've seen for a Terrorblade in competitive. 6.5 minutes in, 2 kills, 47 CS, and a tier 1 as well, Ben.
Well, looks like he's going for the Dragonlance build. 2 bins of Elven Skin. I like that build a lot.
Oh, Misery. He's going to find Jang. He's going to go for the Roar. There's the Sunstrike follow through as well. Can he finish this one off? Well, with the help of Zaxxer, he will. That's the combination we're talking about. That big catch potential and huge amount of burst at this stage of the game. Meanwhile, though, top lane, Vici Gaming Reborn continuing to apply the pressure with the Exorcism committed as well, looking to take a tier 2 just 7 minutes into the game here. FY, that's going to get caught out by the cast, but it doesn't look like DC can get the kill. And Vici Gaming, 7 minutes in, a second tower from this top lane.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, will he get denied by Nono?
I will indeed. Another bit of favorable play here for Vici Gaming Reborn.
They're slowing down Yang a lot, though. Yang did get first blood, but now he doesn't really have too much to show for it. Pretty low on the CS, 2 deaths to his name, and the supports have not really had time to stack for him. FY more concentrated on keeping down the Invoker and Vengeful Spirit being that siege engine to aid Terrorblade in bursting down those T1s and T2s.
As we can see as well, and the TV, he's going to make a beeline straight for the bottom lane. Looks like he just wants to continue to push, continue to take these early towers and just find as much as he can. He really is having a great time so far, as we can see there on the net worth, miles ahead of that of DC's.
They really need the Invoker to burst down the Terrorblade, but Invoker doesn't want to get involved this early. When you're Quas Exor, you just want to get your Midas and keep on farming Ada occasionally with a Sunstrike, but without his magical damage output, he has 17 armor.
Oh, Zaxxer as well. He walks in, dispelling the smoke of FY and DDC. It's a nice cast, but I don't know if it's going to save this man's life, and indeed it's not. End coming in as well to get himself involved. Another kill for VG.R.
And that's pretty much another tower for VG.R.
Yeah, more and more objectives being found here by the side. They're getting a huge amount of momentum. I guess, as you said, we're still kind of waiting for the point of the game where VG.R's going to be confident in terms of coming in and getting involved in the action. Maybe that's when we're going to see DC regain some sort of a grip on this game, but at the moment, it's certainly VG.R in the driver's seat, taking another tower, more money into the pocket of Terrorblade, 4.8k net worth, and the Dragon Lance now complete. It's looking very scary indeed.
They're dealing with the Jungle Beastmaster very, very well. He's only been able to get 1 Roar kill at this point. He's doing decently in CS, but they've lost 3 towers as a result, and DC looking to retaliate. Another smoke coming out from Misery and Soxa.
And looking for some kind of Roar lead in. Resolution has got eyes onto Nono in the middle, and that's actually going to see the smoke come towards this as well. So DC, it will be a lovely kill to get with a lead in from the Roar. So it's going to be the cast to buy time to get the Rise. Incredibly tanky, not tanky enough to live through that though. Maledict and a Sunstrike will be enough for the kill. VG.R on the sidelines, maybe looking to kind of play around with this one, but DC forcing VG.R back. So DC get away with a big kill and forcing away the rest of the side of Vici Gaming Reborn. There is now a blink up on Yang's Batrider, so we'll see what kind of play they want to go once the Death Prophet's back in the game. VG.R now with the Midas complete, so he himself certainly has the potential of catching up End in terms of farm on the Terrorblade. But 10 minutes in, I mean, do you feel this is still definitely a favorable start for Vici?
Yep, especially if they keep on taking towers. Once they get a T1, get an Aegis up on Terrorblade, I think DC are in a lot of trouble, and this is before the threat of the Bat Rider. He does not have a smoke right now, but looks like his teammates will aid him. T2, 3 heroes. Where is the smoke, they are wondering? He didn't have enough money to buy it.
Oh.
And this is going to be a little bit too slow. They want, the timing just has to be very exact now. 2 supports have been missing off the map for a good 20-30 seconds. Let's see if they can get a kill for that. Radiant has used scan. Did not catch out these 3 heroes, but you can definitely tell that they know that something's up.
They're trying to bait a bit with No again by the looks of it. VG.R.
Soxa might be walking pretty close into it. They see him with the Observer Wand on that top side.
If Mu comes up here, he will be walking into World of Pain. He actually has a fair bit of backup though, so DC could take the fight. VG.R already being a little bit careful. No, they still want to go for this one. Yang jumps in, can't quite get the lasso off, so it's a failed initiation. Nice silence of the Saxon resolution on the sidelines. Now they get the lasso off, but the Roar's there to counteract the initiation from Yang, and Yang's down. The cast bouncing across to No. Can they get themselves in close and personal with the DP? Doesn't look like they can. But nonetheless, a smoke from VG.R unsuccessful. A bad initiation from the Bat, and it's countered immediately by DC's presence there with the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and poor communication on that smoke. I think that Yang expected that the supports had a smoke, supports expected that Bat Rider had a smoke, and 15 seconds is just way too much time to be sitting around waiting.
I mean, here's the replays. We can see Yang. He still wants to go for it, and at this point he jumps in, realizes his error. It's a nice silence on the sidelines to stop Saxon Resolution getting in, but you know, they're allowed to get the Beastmaster in from the south. That Roar to lock him down. The lasso does nothing at all, and Mu just turns around.
Not even that bad of a fight though, because Terrorblade just took a free tower in the meantime, and I don't think that's exactly what DC wanted at the end of that engagement, but at least they did not lose their Invoker or any other key hero.
Look at that. I mean, that stat, the 4th highest ever net worth at this time of the game. that's pretty impressive, man.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, certainly a great start here for the Terrorblade, but nonetheless, as we can see, DC still finding things to favor themselves.
They're scared about the Roche. The Hawk's already over there. Worry that that's their next objective, and it should be. Maybe once the Metamorphosis cools down, just in case DC want to take a fight over there.
VG.R still being rather grouped up as for, I'm going to head up towards the top lane, but yeah, DC just making sure that they don't hang around for too long. And they
severe lack of armor on the Doom. Yeah. He didn't opt for the Tranquils. He had a Wildkin creep, but he ended up eating the Speed Aura creep. Maybe wants like a Frost Armor, casual Buckler. Sometimes we see like an early Helm of Iron Will for the Veil. But he needs armor for sure, or he's going to drop really quickly in team fights. And another smoke on Yang. They did just kill a Beastmaster Hawk, so very unlikely that they're going to smoke directly after that. And they see the Necro Books pop by Misery. That could be a good sign for them to take an aggressive engagement on DC side of the map.
Let's see what kind of a lead-in they get. Yang leading the way, of course. They will have eyes onto Mu. Mu, he's underneath the ward and straight in. Yang, this time Mu doesn't have Misery to help him out. No one at all there to help the Doom, and it's a free kill for VG.R that they'll turn straight away into this push on the mid lane. Exorcism's out, Metamorphosis as well. We can certainly expect to see this tier 2 just melt in a matter of seconds if DC don't come in for some kind of a defense. And DC, they're just simply looking for a trade. A bit of a push coming in on the bottom lane. They do not want to fight into Metamorphosis and Exorcisms, because at this point, they just can't. It's a huge amount of damage to try and stop.
Well, what can we do to stop this push? No Ice Wall. No Deafening Blast, and his tower is going to take a beating.
And we can see Misery's continuing to try and go for that split on the bottom lane. As you said, tier 3 taking a fair bit of damage from the side. They will now react to the push from Misery, TPing themselves back as the Metamorphosis and Exorcism comes to an end, and we'll be able to hold on to the tier 2, but still, yeah, the pushing power from Vici Gaming this match is absolutely incredible.
Their 5 minutes way too strong. I think they need a smoke at some point with the Beastmaster to try and get some picks to slow down this 5-man from VG.R. Their cores are very tanky at this point with Strength Treads. On Terrorblade, he's very difficult to kill. Death Prophet already has the Atos, not opting for the Veil. I think the HP is better versus the Doom and the Invoker, as opposed to a little bit of extra armor from the Veil.
All right, with the smoke, DC, they're actually going to go straight into the pit here. So Vici Gaming Reborn.
There's already the Terrorblade illusion. It might scout it out.
Yeah, it has
Oh,
indeed. They know what's up. It's already down to half health. It looks like DC want to try and commit to this one, but VG.R, they are making their way over. Roshan is falling too quickly though, and they will get away with that one. DC getting the Aegis onto Klinks, and VG.R unable to react in time. So a smart play there from DC, and they get away with it without being punished at all.
Yeah, VGR were not ready for that. I was surprised that they committed to getting some damage on a T3 instead of Roche. It's a much safer play, and it will allow them to take out the T3. But DC with a slightly lucky DD rune.
And I mean, it certainly does feel at this stage, the way that the game has kind of begin to plateau out, that the DC are going to be happy with this change of pace. We saw at the start the fact that End, he was ahead with the farm, but overall now DC, they have the net worth lead. And XP-wise as well, they're getting it more so across the map, split up a lot more than VG.R have been. And now the difference between both Resolution and Weeha compared to End, it's not that big at all. And they're managing to catch up to the Terrorblade. And of course, they've still got 3 tier 2s to take, whereas VG.R, they're also rolling at the moment with 2 extra tower gold being taken. So DC, they are slowly becoming this pretty scary force. You look at Resolution, 500 gold or so away from having the completed Desolator. And then DC, they're going to be in a really good position to fight and look for these kind of pickoffs as well. They've got a very kind of flexible lineup by the looks of it.
They're in a much better position now that VGR are very hesitant to push it together as 5. Their split push, their split farming has way higher potential than VGR's. Because Doom can eliminate any hero that's pushing out alone, as can the Klinks, as can Invoker. And VGR, they can't farm out alone unless it's very safe on their side of the map. Also, DC have been doing a really good job of putting down great wards in using that Hawk.
Yeah, absolutely. The vision's been huge, and Misery as well, as you said. Just the way he's been able to kind of lock down areas of the map with the vision control. It's been very hard for VGR to try and find these kind of successful rotations. They are coming across again into DC's half of the map, into their jungle, eyes towards any kind of pickoff, but Saxa's already backing off. Misery TP'd out, and they're going to be unable to find anything here again for the time being. You look back over towards Weeha, 500 gold away from his Aghanims. So some big items indeed coming out. There we have the Desolator now done for Resolution. Vici Gaming Reborn, I mean, how well does their draft kind of stand up as the game goes on? Is Terrorblade really a sort of unstoppable late game force, or will DC always have answers to him if they're able to keep up and on par in terms of items?
I think with Invoker being this farmed, he can deal with all the illusions. I don't think it's reached that point where the Terrorblade illusions can tank through that amount of magic burst. Even a Deafening Blast is a huge nuisance for the illusions.
Vici Gaming looking to continue with the way that they've been playing this one, 18 minutes in, looking to take away DC's last tier 2. They will be able to, so more money fourth end on the Terrorblade. Looks like they may just continue to push here, maybe with Metamorphosis up. They do have Exorcism available. Let's see how hard they want to go in here and how DC's going to be able to respond to this one. Here we have it, ready for the lead in. What kind of counter to this push is DC going to have? Just a cast coming out at the moment from Saxa. Misery on the side. Resolution ready to get into position. Almost certainly going to be looking for Aurora if they can find it, but already VG.R just respecting the defense of DC.
Doom on the top side.
And they've got to be careful about the jump in, and there we have it. Yang will catch out Mu on the Doom. Silences out as well, but now Weeha with the combo. They're coming in with the Meteor, bursting them down. Nodo taken out of the fight here. Now the cast bouncing on, giving DC the potential to check for more. Death Ward down, DDC punished as well, and the cast bounces continue to work out, allowing Misery to get the Roar into Weeha's Sunstrike. They'll find themselves 3. They're going to get more as Wee gets the cold step off. Doom's out onto Terrorblade and DC. Taking down 4 from Vici Gaming Reborn, an incredibly successful defense. And Weeha, he's been having kind of a quiet, focused start, but that fight, he did so much there for the team.
VGR were just lured into this terrible positioning by that lasso. He was on the north side, and everyone had to run down that hill, which clumped up for the Invoker's huge burst.
I mean, look at this. We're seeing from Weeha's player perspective at the moment. The way he started it off with the Tornado into Meteor, gets the Sunstrike kill, and then immediately heading for more and finding the Terrorblade as well. Great play from him, but of course just from the team as well. And those cast bounces, I mean, this man, Saxa, he's a bit of a god on the Witch Doctor. Certainly RNG working his way there in that fight.
that Aegis had a really large impact on that. If they had had the Aegis, they would have just run up with Death Prophet and started sieging the tower instead of having to be very worried about the Doom, about the Beastmaster coming out from the side. And that Roshan has completely changed the game.
It really has indeed certainly put a stopper to the early momentum that VG.R had. It's pretty much all but gone now at this stage, and DC certainly the ones with the lead. VG.R, they can't afford to lose like that again when they try for these pushes.
I don't think they'll try for a push anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's far too risky. They just need to control the map so that they can get the Roche. I think they're strong enough to take a fight around the Roche pit as long as Death Prophet doesn't get bursted down, and that's mostly on the Death Prophet to watch out for her positioning, but also on the Vengeful Spirit so she can be there for a defensive swap, sacrifice her life so that Death Prophet can keep Spirit siphoning people and Exorcism. She needs more armor. The Clinks with the medallion as well as the Desolator just rips through her armor.
Yang again, I mean, he's coming in from the side, looking to see if there's any kind of opening, but constantly being spotted out by the Hawks of the Beastmaster. And Mu, looking at this man, 2k gold. See what he does want to do with it.
I think there might be grouped up for a smoke on the Dire side, but it might be under that Radiant Observer ward.
And certainly close to it at the moment. They need to get a bit further out to the north, and now they are out of range of the vision, so good area to go for it here if they want to. But at the same time, it may just be reacting to the bit of pressure that DC are putting in this top lane. But already, Resolution and Mu keeping themselves away from the action. Vici Gaming won't find anything here, and now Mu with that Blink Dagger as well, that extra bit of catch potential.
That's a curious build on Terrorblade. The Diffusal. It does synergize well with the Manta style, but I haven't seen it too often. I'm not a Terrorblade player.
Interesting to see how much that does. I mean, I guess it certainly helps in terms of fights, you know, having the Metamorphosis up and then just that chase potential.
It's very agility efficient in terms of your gold cost. So 25 agility for a little over 3,000 gold, and you want to stack agility on illusion heroes. Generally, people like Scotty, I believe.
Let's see what they can do with this smoke, Yang. Oh, if he can get the lasso onto Weehar, that would be a great way to start the fight, but Weehar just out of Vision's range at the moment. Yang is going to continue to move forward, but at the same time, look at DC. They're kind of prepared for this, but they have to jump in. Look at Weehar, they need to take down the Invoker, the Silence is down, the lasso as well. Weehar, he's going to get taken down, Mu as well, in a lot of trouble. The Death Ward's out for Saxon. Can they actually turn this one, DC? It doesn't look like they can. A third one down. And a perfect smoke from VG Gaming. The best jump they could have hoped for. They're catching out Wii, taking him out of the fight, and then following it through into 2 more kills. That's exactly what VG Gaming Reborn needed.
Yeah, and they next leveled with that wraparound throughout the mid. DC, they had scanned to make sure that they weren't approaching from the river. They were also positioned for the river.
And just look at that. Look how much damage No does as he rips into these heroes. Weehar's gone, turns towards Mu. He's gone as well. I mean, the Death Ward's beating into this Terrorblade, but with the amount of armor he has, he just does not care. So much damage there from the side of VG Gaming Reborn, and just as you said, they could not have hoped for a better way to start that fight. But at least Resolution will, of course, live for it, keeps himself intact as he does manage to get away on top of the Deso. Now going up to 3.5k. I mean, what does this Clinks need this game? Does he need to get a BKB against VGR's lineup, or does he just continue to build more damage?
I don't think he needs BKB. There's so much physical damage to deal with.
Spotted out Resolution as well. They already found 3 down bottom. They're going to find the Clinks eventually as well up here. Resolution caught out of position, and a huge pick off as well. Will lose a few hundred gold as well, as he was stockpiling it there, Resolution.
I think he's maybe considering it. I think one thing that does a lot of damage is actually the reflection from the Terrorblade. And Clinks will hit himself very, very hard. Aside from that, though, there's not that much, maybe a little bit from Batrider. I think they need to do a better job of protecting the Invoker. Maybe he'll get a blink, a Lotus Orb on someone.
Sliding in, grabbing out Saxo, ripping him away from the rest of his team. It will be a free Witch Doctor killer for VGR. The rest of DC splitting and getting themselves the hell out of there as quickly as they can. But I mean, you know, this game, it's really been back and forth, kind of going from that great defense from DC into VGR, finding those 3 kills and then 2 solo pickoffs. They are showing us that this game is far from over, and it's indeed going to be that incredibly close nail biter of a game 3 that we hope for.
Yeah, and that amazing smoke, which really solidified the second Roshan for VG.R. It will be pinged out, and I don't think DC can do that. Now, they're still licking their wounds from the last couple of engagements.
And there really are no Witch Doctor for 10 more seconds. DC, are they even going to attempt to make a movement over? They are grouped up as for, and they are smoked. They do want to try for this. Let's see if they can get there in time. It's already at half health, and with the Metamorphosis, it's a lot of damage ripping through this Roshan. DC, they're getting into the neighborhood. They are close. They may have a chance of going for this. They'll jump in onto GDC. Raw, Sunstrike, he's down. Roshan is still alive here. Can DC get themselves over to the pit? Roche falling low. Can they get the steal? He's been taken down with a dive. Aegis on the ground. End will pick it up here, but they've already lost the second one. End, he's going to get taken around as well. Huge combo. No, he lives through it. The Thunder. End keeps himself alive here. DC may have found two. It's a good cast, a good depth board as well. Can they get these follow-up kills? Chasing down the Terrorblade. Axes fly through. They'll pop the Aegis. Can they kill this man a second time here? Misery doing his best to keep Yang away. The Sunstrike straight down onto the man and trying to turn and fight it with. Oh, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! Terrorblade fighting through. He doesn't give a damn to the Doom. Down onto a triple kill. He will finally get taken down here, but Misery will pay with his life as well. What an incredibly messy fight there around the pit.
Oh my god,
Oh.
Terrorblade at that fight. He didn't have any cooldowns. He had already used Thunder, already used Manta, already used Meta. How was he able to kill everyone that quickly?
My goodness, getting a triple kill just like that.
Very-
Like, with DC just surrounding him, he did not care. The amount of damage output he can do as long as he gets Metamorphosis out of him. Talk me through it, Ben. What goes on?
Well, DDC just sacrificing himself so that they ensure the Aegis. There's actually a tornado that comes out, but no one inside the pit for DC to snatch it. So End is able to fortunately pick it up himself, and huge Invoker combo, exactly where you want all these heroes clumped up.
I mean, it
And
really hurt the fact that they couldn't kill End there.
They
Look how
don't
low
have
he was.
vision around the pit, and that's kind of Yang with the flying vision,
man.
killing that.
If they had
Hawk.
killed End at that stage, then this fight would have been totally different. But the fact, look at him. Look at this turnaround potential here. I mean, you kill him once, and it looks like to be a good start on the second attempt because they do hit the Sunstrike, but look, just Terrorblade ban. Here we go. All right, looks towards. Who'd you go for? He goes for Weehaw first. Easy kill. Looks towards Mu. That's another easy one. Saxa, yeah, he's going to be an easy one. It's just getting kills just like that. I mean, we're certainly seeing the strength of this hero, and I guess the question really begs is, I mean, do you think as this tournament goes on, we will see more teams be a little bit more confident in picking it up?
Yeah, they should definitely be wary of it. He has a ton of armor. Clinks had to leave the fight because he got sundered, and then Invoker had already used his first volley of spells to bring down his Aegis, and then I think actually No played a really big role in that fight. He was hiding inside the pit while the Aegis was respawning, and then he silenced them and came around with the Spirit Siphon to lock down Weehaw, but that was a huge turnaround. Did not expect VG.R to come away ahead on that fight.
I mean, I guess kind of the little plus was the fact that they do obviously kill the Terrorblade at the end, but I mean, it's a nice bit of cash for Saxa. He's the one that got the final touch to it. But now the fact that, and got that triple kill, he was able to make the purchases. Scardy now complete on the Terrorblade as well. He is becoming incredibly scary, but at the same time we have seen if Weehaw can hit the combo, he can certainly burst down the man, but it's going to get harder and harder as this Terrorblade continues to build up.
They have to commit a lot of spells though. If they just commit the Invoker volley, he can just sunder, and someone else is going to die, and Invoker's going to be useless for the remainder of that fight. So they probably have to commit like an Invoker combo plus Doom onto him, I would say, just to be safe.
And looking towards Weeha's Invoker as well, 4k gold. I mean, is there any way that he needs to kind of orient his build in terms of dealing with a Terrorblade? What do you pick up as
He still has to
Invoker?
worry about the Bat Rider. If the Bat Rider gets the last zone or he gets swapped in the middle of a fight, he doesn't do any damage. So like Blink is an option. Lincoln's I think is pretty good on him, but I think Blink is the safest because you can split push a lot more safely with that. Could also just go for Octarine Refresher if he were just only worried about the Terrorblade.
And there certainly is every reason to be worried about NCB after that last fight. And VG.R maybe ready to look for a bit of a push here as they're coming down the mid. They do have that Metamorphosis available as well as Exorcism, and here we have it. It's going to be an incredibly strong push from the side of VG.R. Let's see what DC can do. As they will try and hold.
How did they kill the illusions?
Yes, absolutely. Look at this ripping through the tower. Fortification will come out from DC. What kind of leading can they get? The Tornado comes out. It's only going to catch a Bat Illusion. Meteor as well being thrown down, and we'll waltz into it. EMP just throwing everything down here. We are trying to zone back the side of VG.R. Cast as well, going to cause some some issues, but not enough. I mean, no, just ready to frontline. The Ghost pummeling into the racks. Misery jumps in with the Roar. They'll get the Sunstrike as well. DDC with the swap, keeping the man alive here. Who trying to move forward, get the Doom out onto end. The Resolution with the BKB, looking to take down the Terrorblade. Can they kill him? He's falling low. Will they do it? They should be able to. They'll get the Terrorblade kill. Yang and FI still trying to do their best to deal with this one as well. At the same time, no, the Exorcism has run out. It's a 2-for-1 at the moment. DC, they need to find more with Moo blinking in, getting the Infernal Blade down. Can they get the chase down? Sunstrike is going to connect on the 2. The damage will be split. Class, the bounces will be there once, holding back FI and no. They'll take him down. Oh, a great kick from FI, rolling in. FY turning this one around. Resolution incredibly low, only just getting himself out of this. They'll get the kill. They'll turn towards Yang, but Yang playing around with this with a flame break. He's still alive for the time being. Resolution in the fire though. No. Oh, keeping himself alive with the heals. We should be able to kill him and will. Deafening blast from the Invoker takes him down. But still a 3-for-3 there. Not necessarily as big of a win of a team fight that DC needed. But at least they do take those 2 big kills on TB and the Death Prophet, but a fair bit of damage already done. Actually, they didn't finish off the racks in the mid lane. So all things said and done, I guess DC will be happy.
And another hero stepping up to the plate, Earth Spirit, when all hope was lost for VG.R.
He just went straight back in. He was like, I'm going to die.
Yeah, and he got Resolution with that. That's a big kill. And Resolution is pretty underfarmed in this sort of situation, at least relative to the Terrorblade. And I think with Metamorphosis coming off cooldown very soon, with Exorcism coming off cooldown very soon.
Yeah, time to push again.
Yep. They need to be better about protecting the Terrorblade. I don't think he can reveal himself. That Meteor was kind of off the mark, but End moved around his hero, so it was very obvious that he was the real one, and then he got doomed, and that was the beginning of the bad part of the fight for VG.R.
Let's see what we are. Just going to be looking for anything here. Indeed, as you suggested, it will be that Lincoln Sphere picked up by the man, so a little bit harder for VG.R to get those jumps in, and it looks like indeed VG.R grouped up and maybe going to look for something again down the mid lane.
I don't know if they want to wait for the Roche. It could be 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It could be 5.5 minutes. I don't think they want to wait. If they wait, the melee Rex is going to be at full HP. Right now, it's at a juicy 700.
Whoa. Look at this one, DC. They want to jump. They want to find something at the same time. VG.R, they're going to smoke as well. It's smoke on smoke action here. Misery on the front lines. Who's going to dispel who? DDC knows something's up. Has lost his smoke at the same time, so has Misery. They'll drop down wards, sentries, making sure that it's not Resolution sneaking around amongst them. Yang now jumps up. Oh, he's got a good grab as well, taking Misery out. Hits Saxa, throws down the cast. He'll get a lovely tornado with the combo being dropped to Resolution. Hitting out with the damage here. Pulls the BKB, looking towards DDC. At the moment, only one dead. They're trying to take down Ed. They get out the Doom. Moo falling over. They found the kill. Ed, can they finish it? We.R, he'll take it. Gets the team as well. 3 dead off Vici. Game of Reborn. Siphon and Exorcism coming through. Resolution. He will be taken down. Can they get themselves anything more? VG.R, Yang. No. Looking to chase down Saxa. They'll get him as well. They'll find Witch Doctor. So again, another 3-for-3 trade. Still with the Exorcism up. We'll see if they can find anything else if they just want to calm down here. They did also manage to force out a buyback from Misery.
Yeah, 3-for-4 at the end of the day. And they had to commit so much onto the Terrorblade in this fight. And nice job by Moo identifying where the Terrorblade is at these fights and getting that Doom on him. Clinks blows his BKB, trying to finish down End. But then you have the Death Prophet on the back lines just slaying everyone.
It's just only going to be part of the fact that, No-No's been living throughout these fights, so getting more and more online. Too. Yes, that's true, and he's certainly playing his role well. We're seeing he's pretty much always the one to get the final touch onto the TV, just making sure that whatever happens, End does still die at the end of these fights.
Terrorblade might consider getting a Lincolns in this situation. What else can pop it? I guess Beastmaster with his Necros, or Roar, maybe a Casks. But Clinks can't pop it, and Invoker maybe with Cold Snap, I suppose, but Doom can't pop it. Doom and Clinks.
We're going to see that the Roche is back up now. Both teams.
They cannot give it to Vici Reborn.
They need to contest this one, DC.
Otherwise, the Doom is just useless. They'll just put it on End, and he doesn't have to use his Metamorphosis for the fight.
Going to be such a strong push if DC can get this. If VG.R take this away from DC, but DC, they know it's up. And did send out some illusions into DC's jungle, so they'll know that VG.R are trying to create space around the pit. BKB being picked up by the Terrorblade as well. I mean, this is obviously going to help him out massive amounts against We.R.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens. It's just a zoning Sunstrike.
They
just
don't
get
have
the
a
vision.
gem up. Oh, they do have a gem up on Bat Rider. They need to kill that Hawk to secure the Roche.
And DC, they certainly will want to fight.
And I don't know if either team have smokes. They've just been pumping them out like candy.
And DC just going to get happy with the aggression on the mid lane by the looks of it.
I think they would sacrifice a T2 for the Roche. So DC can't commit for that sort of trade.
As we can see, really, this game, an incredibly close one. DC, they got a huge swing, but after those last few fights, VG.R, they managed to regain.
I wonder if they know that the Invoker has Link in these. They might not know. We know. But that could be a very costly lasso.
Resolution, he's been able to keep farming throughout these kind of engagements, coming up to 3.8k on top of the BKB that he did end up going for. And we've already seen he is doing massive amounts of damage. I mean, he is a key part of these fights. Even being able to do a significant amount against End, you know, to just follow through at that extra damage on after Mu gets the Doom down onto the Terrorblade to make sure that End does die in these fights. And so both teams just being very, very careful at this point. It looks like no one's going to get picked off. And VG.R, they are going to head into the pit, but again, the Sunstrike from Wheat is there. They know exactly what's going on, and immediately are going to start to head over. There's some good wards from the side of VG.R here, so that they will have the vision of DC as they come close to this point. But DC heading back, they know that VG.R is moving forward. But it really feels at the moment that VG.R are just certainly maintaining superior control around the Roche pit. They're heading back in. I mean, DC, they really need to get themselves straight over it, especially with the Exorcism out. It is going to be a quick Roche from VG.R. And VG.R, it looks like they will get away with this one. DC, unable to deal with that. And that Aegis now picked up by Nono on the Death Prophet. We'll find a DD at the least, DC, but VG.R being allowed to get away with that, that's going to mean all. Okay.
That was just his Manta slot.
That was a taunting BKB.
The DC don't know that he popped his BKB.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. But nonetheless, they got Aegis. They're fine, man. They're happy, VG.R.
But nothing for the Terrorblade.
That's true. Aegis just of course being put onto the Death Prophet.
Might need some tricky illusion micro to throw off Mu. I think one wrong Doom could lose them the game.
So far, though, Mu's certainly been absolutely bang on with the Dooms. Each and every time catching out the main Terrorblade.
Yep, need some mind games. No BOTs up on VG.R will make pushing the lanes out very, very difficult. And DC, with the BOTs up on Invoker, they can kind of delay the 5-man push from VG.R as long as they can. And the split push start from the Beastmaster with the summons. And they'll certainly be looking to stop that. You do not want to fight into VG.R's 5-man right now, especially with just the melee racks up alive in the mid lane.
A bit of confidence being shown there by the side of DC as 3 members working their way around this bottom lane. Saxa, Misery, and of course Resolution on the Clinks in the nearby neighborhood. TP back already from FY. Looks like DC not willing to stay around any longer than they need to be. And really, it's just going to be a question of when one side looks to catch out another. I mean, do VG.R need to continue the aggression? Do you imagine that we are going to see them try and make something big happen with the fact that they've got this Aegis and Cheese at this stage?
They definitely should. Terrorblade isn't going to scale that much more. He already does have 6 slots. I suppose he can pick up Hurricane Pike, but that's not that much of a power increase for him. Maybe to replace the Diffusal Blade with something Moonsharp, but all these are very marginal upgrades for the Terrorblade. He is as strong as he is going to get, and he was, I think, strongest relative to everyone else in the game when they pushed uphill with a Scotty, but unable to transition that into a melee Rax kill. Maybe they can get it now.
Absolutely, and also this timing as well, where End has just finished off the Boots of Travel. So, as you said, this time they can go a bit heavier in on the push, knowing that if any kind of split is coming out from DC.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the Doom onto him and not commit too much.
Dang, on the mid lane jumping in, he's caught out Mu here. There's a lot of damage here coming from VG.R, ripping through the Doombringer.
That BOT's.
60 seconds down now for Mu. He is, of course, just, fair bit of gold short of a buyback. So this defense from DC is going to have to be done without one man. Oh no, the swap onto Wee. It's a huge swap as well. We will get Get the tornado out. Can he keep himself alive there? No! Ripped to shreds by VG.R. The Death Ward. Will it find DDC? He eats the cheese. He'll still go down though. VG.R, they'll finish off the melee racks. Buyback, of course, from Weeha to try and help hold. But they've already lost the full set of racks in the mid lane. VG.R, looks like they'll hold back. They don't want to try and go for anything again as of yet. Waiting for the Exorcism to come back online again for round 2. Just gonna head back and push out that top lane.
Who popped that Lincoln's on him?
I didn't see actually,
Yeah,
but I mean they threw everything at that man. They really did. He got brought straight into the middle of the fight.
And luckily for DC, there will not be a time where the Exorcism will be cooled down. The Aegis will expire by the time it comes off cooldown, and they're going to have to wait for Metamorphosis as well. So doubt they can make another.
I think it might be I think it might be actually the rod from the DP, and then they followed through with forcing him into the middle of them all.
Nice.
My goodness, this game certainly indeed proving to be an incredibly tight one, but VG.R, even though they slipped up towards the middle, it certainly feels like they are certainly the ones coming back into lead. A resolution now of the AC as well. So.
And has sold his Dragonlance going into the Butterfly.
And very close to having the gold for that completed one as well.
And 2 Clarities in his inventory for good measure. What the heck was that? I just saw him sell it.
All terrain's down now for Weeha. I mean, if there ever was a man to even just single-handedly hold the high ground, Weeha on his Invoker is certainly the hero you want to see him on. Well, when it comes to these kind of pushes from VG.R, because he can get a lot done as long as he's not caught out at the start, like we saw just at that last fight where VG.R came in. They've got to keep Weeha in a safe position.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. The E-Blade Terrorblade.
What's the EB for?
Save people against the Clinks?
He's usually going to get doomed, though. Maybe he can use it on the Clinks? Maybe he just wanted an item that they can push? I think that might be more it. Doesn't have time to go to the shop, and I think Butterfly is far more ideal in this situation. We'll see. Maybe he'll burst someone with his 214 agility.
Here we have it. The push again from VG.R. Just sending in the illusions. No, sitting back with the Exorcism. Fortification will come out. DC. What will they do to react to this one? No, they managed to bring Nono in, but immediately DDC getting the swap out. Saving him. Yanks tried to jump in with a lasso onto move, but Weeha turns, trying to punish this, but now here comes the Terrorblade, ripping through the Doom, and turning to Saxa. Double kill for the man. Misery being slowed down by the Guardian, and he does not care that he's been doomed. Will just punch away at DC, forcing them back. Buyback from the Witch Doctor. They need to punish this. It's a nice ice wall from Weeha. FY can't snapped up. They'll punish the Earth Spirit, but still end, standing strong, turning back towards Saxa. The E-Blade nuke coming in. It's a dieback on the Witch Doctor, and Terrorblade ripping through the bottom set of racks. The Tornado, EMP, they need to kill this man, but he'll get forced out, saved by the side. Can they chase him?
He still has Thunder.
They're trying to move forward, and he is more than fine. Steals the life of TDC, and they just can't kill him. In fact, Misery will end up killing TDC.
Oh, he waved and killed the Necro Book. That's so sad.
But nonetheless, again, VG.R, a second set of racks that they've been able to clean out. So much damage being done by this Terrorblade. DC just seem unable to kill him, even with Mu hitting the Doom onto this hero. They just don't seem to have the control or damage to bring him down.
He was very preemptive with his BKB. He BKB'd and then just turned on them before they could get any damage. I'm sure they got a Doom, but he's already popped all his cooldowns. He doesn't even care. He just right-clicks everyone down. And there's almost no way he's dropping during the BKB.
No.
He has 38
Absolutely
armor. And his illusions do too.
Absolutely not. And as we saw, they're just using the E-Blade to get those pickoffs onto the squishier members of DC. The DC actually coming down the mid lane here. Misery, Mu, Resolution in the jungle towards the side, but I mean, this is such a risky play really if they go in against VG.R's lineup. 20 seconds and Exorcism will be back online for Nono.
I think it's all on Wee to make the big plays.
It really is. He's got the Blink Dagger. He's certainly kitted himself out, ready to do so. A scan from the side of VG.R will spot out that DCR hanging around this area, and VG.R is playing it safe. They've got a smoke on DDC, and here we have it. Ready to try and punish the fact that Digital Chaos feels confident and has come out over across the river.
There's so many failsafes to help the Terrorblade out. He has BKB for one, even Manta is pretty good. They have Swap, they have Sunder, they have Buyback into BOT. there's so many ways that he can just stay alive.
Let's see what they can get. VG.R. Very carefully moving up to the high ground. DC already. They know something's up. They backed right up into their base. Just Misery at the moment that's going out to try and desperately push these lanes out. Mid lane, Saxa needs to be careful. They've got this high ground ward here, VG.R, so they know it's a clean initiation. Jumping in with FY. The Tornado will be there from We. How well can he hold this one off? And already making the move towards this top lane, ready to try for Mega Creep's Exorcism coming out as well. How did DC stop this? They're a man down for 40 seconds. And VG.R take the tier 3 move. Looking for the initiation, jumping in Misery to follow through. There's a combo coming out from Weehart. DDC will be brought down here, but at the same time, Yang caught out Resolution with the lasso and punching into them. 4 down, there'll be a buyback from Resolution, but this is looking like the potential end of the line for Digital Chaos. 3 dead without the buyback. It's all up to Weehart and Resolution, the 2 cores to hold this, but they've already been Mega Creeped, and GG is called.
Damn, did you see Yang that last fight? Moo blinked in, he manted off, and then Moo just stood there. It's like, what do I do? Wasn't able to use Doom that fight, and that was the finishing blow. DC with an early exit to this tournament at what seemed like a very promising group stage.
Absolutely. I mean, they just got Terrorbladed there. The Terrorblade pick was absolutely perfect for VG.R, and they knew exactly what they were doing on it. 15-4-12. That's got to be one of the best TB performances we've seen, at least in a major environment like this. It's ridiculous.
Another well-constructed draft by FY. And I think they just baited out the Doom pick. They're like, okay,